Yo, what's up boys, and welcome back to yet another exciting sponsored video. This one is sponsored by CCP Games / Eve Valkyrie. And before you go, we've waited 2 weeks and all we get is a sponsored video. You clearly didn't watch my video where I said I was quitting YouTube. I wasn't joking. I am going to be primarily focusing on Twitch once I have worked out my moving plans. And yes, by moving plans I do mean moving house, since there is a lot to do. If you guys have ever done that, you'll know what I mean. YouTube isn't really going in the right direction. Twitch seems to be doing some pretty cool stuff, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, like I said, video sponsored by CCP Games / Eve Valkyrie. They very nicely flew me out, paid for my hotel, etc, etc, for the release of a new game, or a new expansion to their existing game, Eve Valkyrie. The new expansion is called Eve Valkyrie Warzone, as you would have seen in the title, which is going to be releasing later on in September, so that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. There's no denying this game is out of my comfort zone, but since I got the opportunity to go to Germany, go to Gamescom, which is one of the biggest games events in the world, it was really, really cool. I definitely didn't want to pass out on the opportunity, or pass off that opportunity, not pass out, although I did drink some alcohol and I might have passed out. But regardless, my point is, the game Eve Online, MMO, biggest, you know, space-based MMO out there, definitely one of the most complicated and deep MMOs out there. Big learning curve, just as this game does have as well. It is a game which I've always had an interest in. CCP Games, the guys who made this game, and also Eve Online, or we do also have a based office in Newcastle, which if you guys know where I'm from originally, it's the northeast of England, it's called Newcastle. It's pretty fucking shit, but they're one of the only games companies that I know from my hometown, which is pretty cool, I think. All in all, the total event was about 2 hours of us playing the game and other hours trying to understand it, talking to developers and stuff like that, and get a better understanding of the game. So essentially, before this point of the new expansion Warzone, the game has been purely in VR, whether it's PlayStation VR, Vive on the PC, or whatever else, which I did have a chance to play at the event as well. But they're moving away from that and trying to make it a bigger market by making it accessible for someone who doesn't have VR, since there is, at the end of the day, although it's a cool thing that some gamers have, people who don't have as much money would still like to play a dogfighting game like this, but without the VR. So basically, it's like Eve Valkyrie, but without the VR. It's really bad and convoluted with explaining it, but yeah, I think that makes sense. And the cool thing about this as well is you can actually play with people who do have VR if you don't have VR, or you can play with a PS4 player if you're a PC player, so it's not splitting the communities at all, it's just bringing them all together into, honestly, a pretty solid space experience. I haven't played that many space games, like I said, it's kind of out of my comfort zone earlier on, but it was a lot of fun, and I did definitely want to play it after the 2 hours of me playing it. I just wanted to play more and get better gameplay, because you'll notice in this gameplay, we won 0 games. I can't remember my team entirely, but I was playing with Cat and Bies. Cat carried every game, I did pretty shit every game, and Bies did really shit every game, and was something just lacking on it in our team. We played, like I said, for 2 hours and won 0 games against people who also had not played this game before, although it seemed like they had played it for like 2,000 hours, but I think they hadn't played it before. I think. For me personally, it's pretty rare to get completely fucking railed in the game, for lack of a better expression, and still say, hey, that was pretty fun. It was annoying in the games where I got 0 frags, but still completing the objective and getting kills every now and then. Finding a ship which I actually enjoyed to play, one which I could actually use well. Eventually, once you find that, you can definitely enjoy the game a lot more, even if you are losing. It seems to be a pretty popular thing with games these days, and I haven't played the original Eve Valkyrie since it was on VR, and I don't own VR. I have played VR a bit, but I never had a chance to play Eve Valkyrie on it, although I did enjoy my time while playing it at the event, since you can just look around in the cockpit. It's like a free look with your head, and then just shoot and look to your left and look to your right. Very immersive, 10 out of 10. But my point was, the thing that's popular with games these days, at least from what I see, is these kind of hero-based shooters. Obviously, I made a video on Lawbreakers a month ago, which was a very high skill cap, kind of hero-based Overwatch copy, if you want to call it that, game. You know, you got your Q abilities, your W abilities, blah blah. Basically, you press buttons and you do cool stuff. And this game is no different to that. Each of the many different classes you've got, you do have various different abilities, and when doing well in the game, you will slowly but surely gain points, which you can then use on your ultimate ability, which all of the ships in this game do have, which I think was at least like 16 ships or so. Don't quote me on that. The point is, there's quite a lot of ships in the game which each have their unique abilities. There's 4 different ship classes, which are Assault, Heavy, Support, and Covert. Covert only has 1 ship in right now, which was added in this new expansion. This new ship is called the Shadow, which is what you'll see the gameplay on right now. Essentially, if I left click on it, it's like a snipe little ability. It's got a slide ability, which makes it take more damage, which you kind of just cast on people, kind of like the WoW Hunter ability, which I forgot what it's called, kill command or something. Basically just increases the damage, nothing too crazy. And then its ultimate ability drops a bomb and blows up everything. It's pretty nice. Also pretty important to mention, although I didn't use it too much, the Shadow does have an ability to turn invisible, which is why it's called the Shadow. I was bad at using it, but I'm sure you could probably use it pretty well. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with DPS in games. Most people are, but don't want to support. But there is, of course, support roles and also, I guess, healing kind of roles if you do want to do those. But at the end of the day, people just want to watch a show blow up, so that's why I chose to do instead, and I think it worked out decently. The game mode which we were playing in this game as well, which is definitely the game where I did the best, is essentially you have two main ships, or each team has a main ship. You have to complete some objectives, and then it unlocks the ability, or deactivates the shields, I guess, of this ship, at which point you can then attack it. We also lost this game, like I mentioned before, but still this was definitely the game which I did have the most fun in, despite it being one of all the game modes in this game. Since the event was so limited, and like I said, we didn't get to play for too long, there was a bunch of things which I didn't realize you could even do in the game, like being able to lock onto ships. There's actually a button to do that. You'll notice that you'll be able to see the HP, how much lead you're going to have to take on ships and stuff like that. And I was literally told after our recording session was done, hey, you can actually press a button to do that, which would have probably made me a bit more deadly. The point of all of that is, though, is that we didn't really get to really know the difference between Valkyrie's previous expansions, if you want to call them that, although this is really the first official full expansion, Warzone, and the current game. So although there was a lot added in terms of gameplay, you've even got like kind of an unboxing thing in the game now, so you can get tons and tons of skins for the ships, which who doesn't love skins in 2017, guys, am I right? And I don't really know which ones are the new ships, and I don't really know what my favorite ship is, so that kind of sucked, I guess. So that's why the gameplay in this isn't the best ever, and that's why I'm kind of confused as to what's new and what's not. But either way, it's a game which you can pick up and play whether you have VR or not, which is going to make the game approximately 100 times more appealing to people, I think. Maybe I'm the only one out there who doesn't have VR, but whether you want to use Vive, Oculus, you want to use your PS virtual reality, whatever it's called, you can use all that stuff. But if you're cheap like me and don't have VR, then yeah, you can play the game finally. I even asked the developers at the event, you know, do you guys still have a Newcastle office? And I was happy to hear they do. So I mean, buying this game essentially just supports my family's economy. You know, we live in Newcastle. When I go back home to England, yes, I'm currently in America and we'll be here for a while. I mentioned this before, but people keep on asking me. So yeah, you support the Newcastle economy, which is a very hard one, guys. All the rich people are from down south. We've got these little posh accents, and us little northerners have got shit accents like me. That's why my accent doesn't sound like a normal English one. And some people think I'm German for some reason. In fact, at Gamescom before I was German. I'm not German, I don't sound remotely German. Although these games were pretty late and it seemed like quite a lot was going on, we also got to try out the new game mode, which essentially was capture a flag but in space, which as you can imagine is pretty different from normal capture a flag because it's in space, like I just said. I'd imagine probably if you had some people who didn't suck at the game playing against other people who didn't suck at the games would probably result in a lot more killing and less rubbing of ships against a wall. I didn't really have too many issues with smashing into things over and over again. It was a lot easier in VR, a lot more intuitive than playing on the PC, just because you can look around and understand your surroundings very, very easily. But a lot of us did literally just smash into a wall over and over again and die, because some people just suck at games. I definitely don't suck. I do try hard. I am a competitive gamer, and Warzone is described as a competitive multiplayer first-person spaceship shooter. But we still lost every game. I don't really think I need to say this anymore, but we played about 9 games. The game which you would have seen with the new ship, which I was showing you a second ago, that was on the old game mode, but it was also our last map, or our last game that we played the entire day, and also the game which got the most kills in, but we still lost. And I don't have patience for losing. I get angry at games every single day that I play on my stream on my second channel. Why are you not moving? Fucking go! What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? He's over here! I just get pissed off at PUBG, King of the Kill. I play a few games, I die, I lose every game, and I go on tilt. But for some reason this was somewhat therapeutic and relaxing to a normal first-person shooters I play. I don't know how, because it was probably even more stressful because I just kept on dying, but something was different. I don't know what it was. Maybe I've just came to terms with the fact that I just can't win games every day. Maybe that's it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you guys did, make sure to drop a like. I know because this is a sponsored video and I haven't made a video in a while, there's going to be some angry people. But unfortunately, I decided to go to Gamescom before I decided to quit YouTube. And before YouTube turned into a horrible, horrible place to be. But I will be returning to twitch.tv/Sysane in due time. Like I said, when I move apartment and when I sort out some things in my life, and then we will return to the good old times. I don't see myself going back to YouTube. Maybe in the future when things have resolved itself, but YouTube's communication just kind of sucks. YouTube just kind of sucks as a whole for me in terms of views, or you can just be like, content shit, and angry comments. It just doesn't seem worth it. I just want to like chill. And also I've got Discord now, so that's pretty cool, where we chill with other community members. If you guys want to check that out, there'll be a link in the description. I've been having a lot of fun just chilling out with people there. We've just been banning people who've been edgy at all, and we're trying to make like a nice community for people to chill out in and stuff like that. Yes, I have changed my ways, guys. I no longer use Discord or TeamSpeak only. I like Discord. Discord's now a good application. I'd recommend using it. It's great for nice little communities, just like the Science community. Best community, NA. One day I might return to YouTube. It feels bad to just abandon it, considering that's where I started, but hopefully you guys can understand why. It sucks, but you know, it's just how it is. It's the same reason I quit Arma. Bohemia just aren't that good of a company, really. We don't treat their content creators right. Playing PUBG, they're lovely. I went to, you know, an event in Gamescom, and they were nice, and I got to play in a tournament even though I was last minute, and I got some free swag, and I got an i7, and they talk to their community and interact with them. In the 5 months against me now, Bohemia, I've sucked their cock for like 4 or 5 years now, and it just sucks. Sorry, I'm going on a random rant here. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about Valkyrie Warzone. Obviously, there'll be a link to the game in the description as well, releasing later on in September. It is September, right? Yes, it is September. Alright, guys, releasing later on in September. In a bit. In case you wonder what do I rate this game out of 10, like I said, I'm a comfort zone. But I managed to steal one of the developers' pairs of sunglasses, and it left me wanting to try the game more, simply because there was so much to learn and not much time to learn at all. So I'd give it a solid 7.5, not 8, 7.5 out of 10. And I will definitely try the game at some point once it is released, and hopefully you can win a game. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Thanks, guys. Peace.
It's a hard video game, you know? We left click on them and sometimes we don't die. Most of the time we don't die. You know, I'm used to just left clicking on the heads and then they're dead. Oh my god.
After playing Eve and exploring the deep space, I'm no longer angry, guys. Don't worry, I'm a changed man, you know? We all have those phases, right? Yeah.